Okay, it's Transit TV. I'm the guest reporter for Reggie, and Reggie is willing to answer these questions, so thank you, Reggie. Reggie, I got a couple of questions for you. When you first came into the game today, what was your feeling? What did you think the turnout of this game was going to be?
You mean the outcome or turnout of fans? The outcome of the game?
Outcome of the game.
Yeah, to be honest, all day I've been tensed, excited, hopeful. I've been going from different mindset to another one. One time I'm excited to go watch the game. Another time I'm scared, I'm tensed. Then eventually I said, you know what? Whatever happens, it happens.
Understood. We've all been there. But Reggie, one more question. What did you think the score was going to be when you got here today?
To be honest, obviously I'm an Arsenal fan, so I'm going to be hopeful. And if I don't believe that they can turn it around, I'm not going to be here. So I was looking at, I did an interview before the game started, and I said it was going to be 3-1 in favor of Arsenal.
That's quite ambitious. I also thought we were going to win, so I don't blame you for that. What do you think went wrong in this game, and how do you think we can fix it going forward?
First of all, I've been telling people, Luis Enrique won his UEFA Champions League when Arteta was still a player. So he's a seasoned coach. He has coached Spain, won the Euros with them, I think. So this guy, him, was a huge difference today. You could see that PSG played differently. This is not the PSG we have always known. They allowed, yes, Arsenal put them under pressure, but still, when they had time to go full throttle, they didn't. They were very patient. They knew when to defend. They knew that they had the advantage. There was no point being in a hurry, so they didn't want to throw away the lead, and they kept. And this is what a coach does. Then, secondly, unlike Arsenal, PSG has players that can run at your defense. So when they are on the front foot, they have three players who are running in behind the defenders. So you see Arsenal defenders not being sure whether to engage or stay. But if Arsenal is attacking, Saka has the ball. There's nobody running beyond him. So the PSG defenders have all the time in the world to double on him and not worry about behind him. And because of that, Arsenal couldn't make use of anything that he had to attack. For me, those two things are very, very, very huge. So Arsenal needs to get players, especially strikers, that can, stretch the play. Because if you do that, it gives the man on the ball some time and some space to do one or two things. Because Saka had the time today, had the ball, but most of the time he had to go back because in front of him we have three defenders. And what can he do?
Very good points. So what do you think we should do in the off-season to correct these difficulties?
Obviously, Arsenal need to sign players and not just people are saying a striker. Arsenal don't need this. Arsenal need like three front players because look at Liverpool. Somebody said there that Arsenal needs front six. Yeah, you need like six players that can play in that front position. Because we have two players injured, Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz, and that's it. You look at the bench, who are going to bring in? So they need to give Arteta some options. People need to fight for the position. Martinelli has done well, but he needs somebody to push him. Saka as well, as good as he is, sometimes somebody needs to push him, take him out. Like today, you could see that he has done all he could. But who is on the bench to bring in? Waneri, if I'm the coach, yeah, you can still bring Waneri in, but it's not that easy. It's not that easy. You could see today, Luis Kelly has done very well for Arsenal this season. But today, you could see that he was overwhelmed. Because he hasn't been at this level for a while. So we need...
like you can see a PSG substituted Desiree Doué for Barcola. And Barcola is a very good player. But they did that. So we need to do the same thing for Arsenal.
When you play against Liverpool, you take out Gakpo, you're bringing Curtis Jones. Take out Curtis Jones, you're bringing in... what's the other guy's name? You're bringing in Nunes. If you don't bring in Nunes, so they have options. They might not be world-class players, but they all can do exactly the same thing and give you different options. Like I said, Arsenal need players that can stretch opponents' defense because when you keep everything in front of the defenders, they find it very easy to deal with it.
I got one more question for you, Reggie. Obviously, we've been talking about tactics and who we have to sign in the summer, but in general, I feel like a lot of Arsenal fans are on this fence of Arteta in and Arteta out. What are you?
No, I'm in.
Okay, and let us know why you are Arteta in.
First of all, I remember very well where Arsenal was before Arteta came in. I'm not going to forget when we used to go to Anfield and we were already praying for a draw. I'm not going to forget when we used to go into a game and we face 35 shots on our goal. I'm not going to forget when I go out to the pub to talk about football and people ask you, who do you support? You say Arsenal. They say, please, can you step aside? So, and then Arsenal fans used to say that they need they just want to at least compete. Arteta has come in. People say Arteta has been in Arsenal for 5 years. He's not been in Arsenal for 5 years. For me, the first 2 years, he was trying to manage other things aside football.
So when they say 1 trophy in 5 years, what do you say?
It happens. Klopp was an experienced coach before he came to Liverpool. He had coached in Dortmund, went to Champions League finals before he came to Liverpool. But it took him 5 years to win his first trophy. So in football, I can always tell people, 1 + 1 is not always 2. There are so many ingredients that have to come together for you to succeed. Again, Arsenal fans are calling for Arteta said, but we went to the Emirates. PSG came to Emirates and quieting the crowd. The crowd couldn't even cheer their own team up. You know, so as fans, what are we doing to support this team?
One of the other criticisms about Arteta is his signings. They say he signs too many left backs, too many defensive midfielders, all this and that, but we never signed a striker. 700 million spent and no striker. What do you say about that?
Like I said, football 1 + 1 is not always 2. There are so many things that have to come together for things to work out for you. Sometimes you want to sign a striker, the striker is not available. What are you going to do? Like Wenger always says, 3 people have to agree for you to sign a player. The club selling the player and you that want to buy. So sometimes who you want maybe doesn't want you or is not available. And then you leave it at that. So for signing defenders, again, like I told you, after 2 years, Arteta is not in Arsenal for 5 years. For the first 2 years, he was dealing with culture, he was dealing with atmosphere, he was dealing with fans, he was dealing with everything wrong about Arsenal aside football. It was until the 3rd year that he started building the team, buying players and trying to fix the team. Now, if you want to build a good team, you have to have a good defense. So that's where he started from. I mean, don't get me wrong, last season or in January, we were supposed to have signed a striker. But just maybe, I understand how football works. It's possible that they want to sign. I remember last summer, Sesko. Arsenal went in for Sesko. He said he needed 1 more year in RB Leipzig. They went again in January. He said, no, wait till the end of the season. So, and the way football is being run now, the way football is being run now, you have to watch your finances.
Reggie, let me get 1 more bonus minute on this interview for Bones. Bones, oh, you can do your own interview. You're right. On that note, I'm gonna cut the interview and let you guys do your own thing. Thank you guys. I took over. Bye.